Where is the best market to invest in over the next 6 to 12 months? That's the winning poll for this week. Now, it's a great question. It's probably a question I get asked a lot. Where's the best place to invest? And look, it comes back to your personal situation. So, depending on your strategy and what we're trying to achieve, and it all comes down to your plan. So, we've got a 10-year roadmap plan. If you haven't heard about it, or if you want some more information about it, let us know. That's tailored to your personal situation. We can implement that for you, or we can sit down and discuss that. But if you had a plan in place and you had to hit, a certain figure, if it's X amount of passive income, let's say it's $100,000 of passive income, you want to retire maybe in 5, 10, or 15 years, whatever it may be. We factor that in, and then of course it comes down to how much income you make per annum, and then of course what's your borrowing capacity, how much you save per month, and then, of course, we got to factor in, I guess, future borrowing capacity once we make a couple purchases on your current situation. Then we can kind of, see where you stand and what value price we're going in at for your purchases moving forward. Now, everyone's got different price brackets and different strategies and different targets and goals. So the values of those properties and the types of properties we're chasing completely change for each individual person. So this is it's a very broad question, and I can name states and places to invest. Like Queensland's it's on fire at the moment. And some New South Wales regional towns, even WA is a place that we look at as well to invest for our clients, and that's a great location. And of course, we've done SA, we're in Adelaide there as well. So there's a handful of places, but it all comes down to the price point, types of properties that we're kind of chasing, and comes down to their value add option. So, for instance, some clients want to do a development in the future. So we target a property that we're going to do a development in the future. It might be 5 to 10 years from now. What will change is the way we're looking at things. So we're still looking at our normal fundamentals, but we're being very strategic with the land and the zoning and the size of the block, etc., and the soil, and making sure there's no sewage lines on the block, etc. So when they do plan to do a development, they're not going to have any complications of doing that transaction. Then we might have some clients that are looking for blocks of units. We're buying big blocks of units, and there's certain regions that we're targeting that. Why? Because the unit market is doing quite well there too. So it's a very broad question, and it comes down to your personal situation. And I think if you're wanting to get into the market, or you're looking for a particular region, probably best to reach out with someone from the team or myself, and we can kind of point you in the right direction, even if you're just looking for a bit of a clarification or a bit of clarity about your situation. But I think it starts with your plan, which is the most important. If you got a 10-year roadmap, if not, we've got this. We actually sell this just alone, not having to have the whole buyer's agent fee with it. So if it's something that you're interested in and you just want the plan implemented for your personal situation, we take in all your information and we implement it. Then you go out there and you do the sourcing yourselves. So that's something that will get you started. And then of course, finding those locations, that's the next step. But it comes down to those sort of properties you're targeting. So great question, but I think there's going to be the catalyst for the next 6 to 12 months. You're probably going to see a whole handful of locations doing quite well, and so I don't say it's only going to be Queensland and South Australia and WA, because there's going to be there's multiple places in every single state and territory that are going to do well, but I can count on one hand, all up. Sorry, on two hands, all up. So that's it's a very broad question, but yes, I think you get the point. If you want to reach out, please do get more clarity about this, and I guess that's just going to help you if you're making a decision moving forward.